Hello, Sean Monroe. So, just before Christmas I did a video saying ask me questions. I've done it 2 or 3 times before and it's always really fun, so I did promise I'd upload the answers nearer to Christmas, which I didn't, so apologies for that. But you know how it is, stuff gets in the way sometimes. But I did do a Happy New Year video for you all. Anyway, without further ado, I haven't really looked at many of these, I've just let the comments fly and I'm just going to answer them and see what happens. So, question number 1. This comes from Renat E. Hello my love, how are you? You're always on my channel, thank you so much. You're always commenting and being active, so you know, I really appreciate that. So you said, first, you have a great channel, keep doing. Thank you so much, my channel thinks you're great too. If you had to pick only 3 perfumes for the rest of your life, what would you choose? I've been asked that a lot of times, and they usually boil down to the same 5, I would say. So, the not so obvious, Samsara, I know I gush about that all the time. I couldn't live without that perfume. Even if I never wore it again, as long as I could smell it again, I would be happy. Samsara. Dolce & Gabbana, Red Cap. There's something about that perfume, I don't know what it is, I just can't get away from the fact how amazing it is and how beautiful it is. This is really difficult though, that's like asking somebody what's your favourite 3 songs in the world. But those 2 definitely, and then I would have originally said Stella, which is my signature by Stella McCartney, but since they've reformulated it, I'm bumping it off. You have to move on in life, don't you? So I'm just going to move that one off, and I'm going to put in there Michael Kors by Michael, which is my kind of other signature. I always say I'm cheating on Stella with Michael Kors, but there's loads of others recently that have come up. You know, I'm always discovering new ones, so it always changes. But for now, it's those 3. So, next question. I have 7 sacks. Oh, you again. I'm only joking, seriously. Oh, you didn't ask a question. You said, I don't have any questions, but I'll be watching. Oh, okay, well, hopefully you're watching. Hi. Next, A Gentleman's Journey. Oh, Chad, how are you doing? Fellow perfumista from across the seas. Should it be perfumisto if you're a male? Perfumista, perfumisto, I don't know. Anyway, you said, when are you coming to visit me in Toronto? I don't know, that's really far, you know. I don't have any plans to visit Canada. I would like to go, as long as you guys have a summer. I don't want to go when it's snowing, unless we can go to that cabin or something, that would be really cool. Who is the cutest reviewer in the community? Jeremy Fragrance. But of course, Chad, you are adorable too. Let's not get all, you know, funny about it and everything. Who's the most sarcastic reviewer? Lex Ellington, the guy from Scotland, you know, the one that just really goes in on fragrances and pretty much everything. And then again, he's not sarcastic really, is he? I think he's just very direct and bullshit. I wouldn't say that you're sarcastic, Chad, but then I don't live every day with you. I think you're kind of cool, I don't think you're sarcastic. We're supposed to be coming to London next November. Yes, let's meet up, definitely. Be warned though, I will be in India from the 16th, so if you come in the beginning part of November, yes, let's meet up. Next person, Mark Anderson. I'm looking for a fragrance that smells like Turkish delights. Could you recommend any, please? Oh, the first one that jumps to my mind is Paul Smith Rose, because Turkish Delight, you know, obviously is mainly scented with roses. There are other flavours, but rose is the main one. And Paul Smith Rose is the sweetest, smoothest, delicate rose perfume that I can think of that would be almost like a candy. So I hope you weren't looking for a male recommendation, because I couldn't think of any at all, so I do apologise about that. But yeah, Paul Smith Rose, and it's really good quality for the price. It's always really cheap when I see it, and somebody at my work wears it, and it lasts. I smell her in the hallways, everything. It's a really good one. So, John Bernard. Is it John Bernard or John Bernard? You have to correct me below. Hello mate, really like your videos. Quick question, which is your top 10 perfumes of all time? Oh gosh, that's a lot. I don't think I'm going to stand here and list all of them. I gave 3 a minute ago, is that okay? I have got a top 10. If I'm going to add a few more in, Portrait of a Lady by Frederic Malle, Andy Towers' L'air du désert marocain, White Patchouli by Tom Ford, oh my gosh, so many, there's loads. FragranceView. How? That was cheesy. How you doing, mate? Good? Guys, everyone else, listen. New fragrance reviewer on the scene. Really cool guy. From the UK as well, I might add. So, you know, I have to show a little bit of love. Really love your videos. I've told you that already, you know. Why do I keep doing this? It's very, very cheesy. Yeah, really love your videos. Keep doing what you're doing. It's really good. I told you I might have some samples for you as well, so keep an eye out for that. I'll be in touch with you anyway. You said, have you ever tried a fragrance that you initially didn't like and then your tastes change over time and then you end up loving it? Loads. That's happened to me loads of times. It's both ways. It's happened where I've loved a fragrance and gone off of it, and one where I've hated it and then loved it. Eden is one of them by Cacharel. It's a very unusual kind of fleshy fruit, planty, weird floral that's really unusual and really strong and gets on everyone's nerves. Somebody at my school used to wear that when I was younger and I used to think it was horrible. And the more things you smell, I guess the more your nose opens up to things and your tastes change so much. And that's the one that sticks out the most because I couldn't stand it and now I'm kind of obsessed with it. I've bought myself like 3 backup bottles of it, so that's a really good one. And the other way round, stuff that I've loved and then hated, kind of a boring one, but it's Jimmy Choo for women. I used to really like that. I thought it was a really unusual pear, toffee, woody fragrance. Then I just got really sick of it. I'm just, as your tastes change, you know, I'm just kind of veering away from really sweet fragrances. They're nice, but I just kind of, yeah, that one, I end up giving away things all the time. I'm obsessed with them really quickly and then I just, you know, do that. It comes from impulse buying. So I just urge none of you to, don't impulse buy. I do it all the time and then they end up just falling by the wayside, so that's that before. And you said to me also, has there ever been a perfume you sprayed on and disliked it so much you had to scrub it off? I had that with Interlude Man and it wouldn't come off. Yes, definitely, there's a few of those. The obvious one, Secretions Magnifiques by Etat Libre d'Orange. It's obviously not meant to be a pleasant fragrance, but even though the smell was horrible, it really wouldn't wash off. It smelled like wet dog and saliva and seaweed and just really horrible things. I really didn't like that one. Even though I tried to like it, I went in there with an open mind. But yeah, that one was really bad. And also Alliage by Estee Lauder. There was a time when I was looking for this mystery fragrance I'd smelled on somebody and I got lots of advice from people on fragrance forums about what it might be. Somebody suggested that it might be Alliage and that was my realisation that I hate classic chypres. I just can't stand them. Alliage, I just had to get it off my hand because even standing there with it on me, it had to go. So yeah. Anyway, everyone go and check his channel out. I'll put the links below as well. So, next question. Kathy Bible. Hi, what kind of music do you like? I've always been an R&B lover. I really like old school R&B from, well, it's old school to me, from say 1999, 2000 when I was going out clubbing with my friends. I really like big black women singers. I love an R&B voice, a soulful voice. I like soul. And more recently, I really like acoustic soul. So I like guys and girls on guitar, just a really nice raw voice and really pretty melodies and stuff that makes me tingle. Anything that can make me shiver when I hear it is a winner by me. That's my main kind of genre of music, but I listen to so much stuff, I really do, loads of stuff. Anyway, how do I pronounce this? LSD, is that how I pronounce that? I've just realised who you are. Did I do that right? Thank you for your question, and thank you for that lovely conversation we had as well. It was very cool. So you said to me, if you were a note, which note would you be? Oh, that stumped me, that one. That's very hard. It would have to be tuberose. Only because it's my favourite note, and if I was going to be anything, I would want to be a flower. Who doesn't want to be a flower? They grow from the earth, they're organic, tuberose is very, very beautiful, and it's clean and pure, not that I am. It's clean and pure and beautiful, but it also has a punch, and yeah, it's a bit unusual. I guess that's a very good question. You have stumped me there. You also said to me, if I had a superpower, what would it be? Invisibility, just because sometimes you want to disappear, you don't want to be found, things like this, and this that I'm doing now, you know, you don't always want to be found, and I sometimes would like to just slip into the background and just hide away. It's really good for getting off of work sick as well. That would be really cool, wouldn't it? But it'd be really fun. You could play tricks on people. You could just poke them and run away and things like that. So definitely invisibility. If not that, I'd like to fly because... Oh, let me just get rid of the bird. 1 second. You also asked, which Lord of the Rings race would you be? And you can't pick human. That one's really easy. I would be a part of the elves. First of all, they live in Rivendell, which is the most beautiful place I think I've ever seen that isn't real. Hopefully it is real. I would love to be an elf because they have the cool hair and the pointy ears, and they've got magic. I would love to have real magic. Magic is real. Magic is definitely real. Yes, definitely an elf. And I love the language as well. It's a beautiful language. I wish also that that was real. It's a very whispery, gorgeous language, and yeah, way better than any language that any of us guys speak on this planet or in this land. And also, I'm going to New Zealand in February, so I will be visiting Hobbiton. I don't know where it is in New Zealand, but I know that we're going there, so I'll report back. I might even film stuff there. You also asked, what are the notes that you think will be trending over the next 1 to 5 years? That's a brilliant question. You know, perfumers and the community are always looking for what's going to come next. Perfumery is like fashion, it has trends and everything. And from what I've read, we are going to see the rise of the animalics, which makes me really, really happy. Animalic fragrances tended to be, or they tend to have a connotation with something of old. There are obviously a few perfumers that are making animalics now, but I would love to see the rise of the animalics. I got an amazing one for Christmas. Animalics are just that bit rougher, that bit dirtier. Perfume now, in the mainstream, I think, is just full of so many pretty things and to make you smell lovely. It's really fun to not smell like that all the time. It's to have something a bit more raw and interesting. So the rise of the animalics hopefully is coming. They're great questions. Thanks very much. I love them. LSD. Next question. Nazim Akhtar. Is there any perfume you detest or find absolutely disgusting? Not many. I'm really, really eclectic and open-minded when it comes to perfumes. There are a few standout ones that I really don't like. I can generalise an entire category. Classic chypres from kind of 60s to 70s, I just can't get my head around them. I don't like oak moss, and that's the main note of them. I just find it really unpleasant. I always say it kind of smells a little bit like cupboard, old musty cupboard. But perfumes in particular, my worst perfume has to be Burberry for women. It's in the kind of light bulby kind of shaped bottle. There's something in that that just really turns me off. I don't usually have an adverse reaction to a fragrance, but that one I just really don't like. Alliage by, this goes back to FragranceView's question, Alliage by Estee Lauder, because it's a classic chypre, don't like that one. And there's another one, Azure by Estee Lauder, another classic chypre I don't like. And also Niki de Saint-Phal, I think it's called, another classic chypre, just didn't like it. Kind of same answer as the previous one. So, Brace Raid, hello. Do you have a kind of punk rock background? No, I really don't. I asked because there's an older video you made where you're going across town to visit friends. Yep, that was a fun day. Drink some wine and show them a few fragrances of one you created. Your friends seemed kind of punk rock, but in a less cliche way. That's really cool, thank you, that's really flattering. My friends are punk rock, but not in terms of their music style or their background. My friend Tiffany that you saw in the video, the small Aussie lady, she's an artist, so she's really kind of, she's just a cool chick, mate, you know, that's how I describe her. She's just really fun. My friends know they're not punk rock. They're not punk rock at all, they're just, I don't know what you'd use to describe us. A bunch of dickheads, basically. Yeah, we just have fun. But Tiffany, yeah, she's very artistic, and my best friend Josh, who's in a lot of my videos, he is just way out there. But yeah, we're all very different, but just a little bit crazy, I think. But definitely not punk rock.